Labor has made another big budget promise, hoping to lure voters, claiming prescription drugs will be cheaper if Bill Shorten is elected. That has drawn instant criticism from the Liberals, who insist Labor is again talking a big game without having the money to back it up.
Messing with the PM's mind. Labor's Bill Shorten takes his morning run, Bondi to Clovelly and back, right through Wentworth, Malcolm Turnbull's Eastern Sydney electorate.
Beautiful morning.
Did he really have to bring the bus? This as the major parties made competing health announcements that say plenty about the campaign.
We choose the health of Australians, they choose the bottom line of large multinationals.
Labor promises to scrap government cuts to the pharmaceutical benefit scheme. Prescription medicines would be cheaper under a Shorten government by $5 for most patients. Cost almost $1 billion over 4 years.
I see increased spending, poorly targeted.
The government's announcement, far more modest, a $7 million program to encourage clinical trials for young cancer patients.
The black hole of unfunded promises keeps on getting deeper and darker.
For Malcolm Turnbull, also in Wentworth,
Hello, Superman. How you going?
the test is clearer by the day. Convince voters frugal is as good as it gets because Labor simply can't pay for the promises.
Unfunded black hole of unfunded promises of $66 billion over the next 4 years.
In fact, Liberal campaign headquarters says today's health promise takes it to more than $69 billion. Labor says the government's numbers are flawed. Its tax slug on tobacco, multinationals and no tax cut for big companies means savings that pay for the promises several times over. Parties have successfully pitched the frugal line before. Kevin Rudd won after famously refusing to match John Howard's $9 billion spend at the 2007 policy launch. So far this campaign, Labor has been far and away the big spender. Another headache for Malcolm Turnbull. A respected voice says our government does, in effect, torture asylum seekers.
The psychological torture of not being able to actually resettle and you can't go back home is torture.
I don't accept what Tim Costello says there.
Tim Lester, 7 News.
And our political editor Mark Riley joins us now from Canberra. Mark, 2 weeks down, 6 to go. How is the election shaping up so far?
Yeah, it's really starting to take shape, Mark, by unfreezing the Medicare rebate and axing those $5 co-payments for prescription drugs. It's obvious that Labor's targeting the hip pockets of average Australians and arguing that the government has its priorities wrong by spending that money on tax cuts for big business. Now, Malcolm Turnbull says Labor simply hasn't got the money to spend, but also claims that Labor's introducing $100 billion in new taxes. Now, he says concentrating on those tax cuts will help average Australians by inspiring economic growth and producing jobs. So it's developing into a ding-dong battle over money and priorities now, Mark.
OK, Mark Riley in Canberra, thank you.